Hi everyone, welcome to my Lessons That Fit presentation. I'm doing case study 10, How Much Do I Have to Change for One Student? And it's about adjusting for students with hearing loss. So the student in this case study is named Marla. She's in grade 5 and she's hard of hearing. She does use a hearing aid in one ear, however, she still relies a lot on lip reading to supplement her hearing. She has a lot of strengths. Like, she does genuinely want to be at school. She wants to learn and she really, really wants to make friends. She's also good at emulating instructions if she's given a demonstration beforehand, and she's a really clear writer. She also works well with partners and in groups. She does have areas of support that need to be addressed just like all students. For example, she struggles with reading. Because she's hard of hearing, her speech isn't quite as clear as everybody else's. And if there's a lot of sound in a room, especially echo, she can get overstimulated and stressed out easily. Her home life is also very busy. It mentioned that she has a lot of siblings and her mom relies a lot on her to help around the house. She also needs a classroom that has really good lighting and always needs to have a clear view of the teacher. Again, this is so that she can lip read. In the case study, it mentioned some cool ways to adapt instruction for students with hearing loss, so I thought I'd just plop them in a slide here, just because I thought they were pretty helpful. So things like using visually oriented materials, short instruction times, a buddy system, good lighting in a classroom, being visible to students and facing them when speaking, so not like talking and writing on the board with your back to the students at the same time, using gestures and facial expressions, and not over enunciating your words. This actually ends up being usually more offensive than helpful when you over enunciate your words when speaking to someone who is hard of hearing or deaf. When a kid is speaking in class, identify them by name so that if there's students with hearing loss, they can understand who's speaking at that time and know where to look. And then always confirm that students understand whatever you just taught them before moving on with instruction. Also, providing students with organizers and transcripts is a really good way to ease like the cognitive load from just having to remember what you said. And if you put it on a paper in front of them, that way they have like a tangible reference so that they can know what their instructions are. For my lesson, I thought it'd be fun to do a phys ed lesson, specifically yoga. I thought of yoga because it's a really good way to de-stress when you're feeling anxious or overstimulated, like Marla sometimes does. It's also a lovely, quiet activity, and you can do it pretty much anywhere. Also, it's an individual activity, and so it's like if you can't hit a pose perfectly, you're not going to let your team down. It's more of like an independent sport. And so it's really based on your own self-monitoring and stuff like that. Accommodations for Marla would include teaching in a classroom to avoid echo, especially a carpeted classroom. Not only does carpet like absorb sound, but it also makes it a lot less painful to do yoga because there's a lot of floor work. Also, instead of yelling or blowing a whistle, like I personally have done in many gym classes, flicking a light on and off is a really good way to get students' attention, and making sure that instructions are presented both verbally and visually. Also, I thought about doing a PowerPoint because that way it ensures that you're not writing on the board and talking at the same time. And that way the information is just all there and ready to present for the students to absorb. Hand gestures are also helpful to indicate when poses are changing and different breathing exercises. And I also included a yoga video in the lesson. That way the kids can just like try on their own with a different instructor. And that yoga video that I chose specifically has closed captions, which makes it easier for kids to know what is being said, specifically Marla. So this is like what I pictured the lesson PowerPoint looking like. So like a nice little intro slide for kids who may not have ever heard of yoga in their lives before. And then I picked a few poses that I thought would be fun for the kids to try. I tried to choose poses that allowed students to still be able to look at the board while doing them. And I also picked poses that had fun names and that were just genuinely fun to do. Next is the video. This is Yoga with Adrienne. She's like the best yoga instructor I've seen on YouTube so far. And this video specifically is aimed towards children. So it's very fun and engaging and easy. Also, she provides really good closed caption options on her videos, and so making sure that the captions are running while this is playing would be a really good accommodation for Marla to enjoy this gym class. So that's pretty much it. Like, I put my lesson plan on the forum in more detail if you want to see that, but question-wise, I just wanted to ask, how do you think the adjustments that have been made for Marla would benefit the other students in the class, like instruction-wise, etc., etc. So that's basically all I have to say on that. Thank you for watching my presentation. Goodbye.